I've been on a kick trying to learn more about Ethereum, just fascinated by this new cryptocurrency blockchain technology. So wanted to fill you guys in on it. Before we get started, just want to make it super clear that I'm a finance nerd. I am not an engineer. I don't fully understand how Ethereum works. I'm not an expert by any means in this space. I made this episode to just share all of my ideas. It's going to be all over the place, off the wall, why I'm so amped about this new technology. So let's go. For those of you guys who don't know, a quick background. Ethereum is a technology that's based on the blockchain, very similar to Bitcoin, although it's not a currency, it's more of a token. It was developed in 2013 by a 20-year-old by the name of Vitalik Buterin. He was a dropout at the University of Toronto, got a $100,000 grant from Peter Thiel to go do his own thing. That thing was Ethereum, and here we are today. He's only 23 years old. There are 96 million Ether in circulation, trading at about $300 per token. That puts the current market capitalization or network value of Ethereum at about $30 billion. That makes them the number 2 most valuable cryptocurrency behind Bitcoin, which is at its current 7,000 price, trading at a market capitalization of about 120 billion. So why is this fascinating to me? Why was I excited enough about this? I'm just gonna get to the point here. Bitcoin is digital gold. I made an episode about why I think this is, and this is a fascinating value proposition as a technology, and I think digital gold has tremendous utility, and I think Bitcoin has a bunch of value that way. Ether is digital oil. It's trust. It's how to get things done in the digital economy. What does that mean? Ethereum is a lot more complex and nuanced and therefore flexible than Bitcoin. It has the ability to execute these things called smart contracts. Basically, think about it like this. Let's make a bet. I think your team's gonna have less than 100 fantasy points this week. You think it's gonna have more. We each put 1 Ether into a smart contract. Then when the score, which is hooked into that contract, determines, okay, we got 105, well, I lost the bet. The smart contract distributes the money to you. It was decentralized. There was no third party. There was no intermediary. There was minimal fees. It happened. It was secure. This is the potential of this is staggering across so many industries. I think the potential for it to be bigger than Bitcoin is very real if this takes off as the background operating system for all decentralized blockchain apps, which it looks like it's starting to become, or at least get a majority market share in. What do I mean here? dApps, decentralized apps. Think of the Apple iOS store. When you have an application, that is what people are building on top of Ethereum right now. None of them are out, none of them are working, none of them have traction, but VCs are funding this. Some of the smartest people in the world are dropping everything they can to build applications on top of this new smart contract Ethereum technology. Beyond that, you have Vitalik Buterin leading a team of people on the Ethereum Foundation, constantly recoding, upgrading, improving the technological capabilities and prowess of this EVM, Ethereum virtual machine, that is the core backbone of this technology. And this is the biggest reason that I'm fascinated by Ethereum over Bitcoin. Bitcoin was founded by Satoshi Nakamoto, an anonymous guy nobody knows. Vitalik Buterin exists in real life as far as I can tell. He's doing interviews with TechCrunch. He is out there actively coding this thing, pushing the limits of it to make it better consistently. There was just in Cancun, DevCon 3, Vitalik's there. All the smartest people involved in the Ethereum community meet up, figure out how they're going to advance the technology, and they all own a ton of Ether, probably millions of dollars worth. They're directly incentivized to make this take off. They're giving out Ether and funding startups to build dApps on their Ethereum platform. We are in the early days of potentially seeing a mega disruptive monster in the making. The weakest part of my thesis here is I don't understand how this is actually going to take off and look in a real world to a consumer very well. And I think we're still a couple years out from actually seeing Ethereum have a lot of value, from actually having the tokens be useful as a way to actually pay for things or get things done in the digital economy and really be that digital oil. We're still a long ways away from that, but you could imagine the potential of that digital oil is multi-trillions of dollars, depending on which markets they disrupt, how fast this happens, how scalable the technology is. The potential is staggering though. That is why when I look at Ethereum today, which has about 96 million coins in circulation at about 300 a coin. That's a 30 billion market cap, 1/4 of Bitcoin. If I look at it as a $1 trillion opportunity, then we still have an absurd upside from today's prices if this takes off.